that I think are kitsch decks. So kitsch is a word for something that appeals to popular or lowbrow taste and is often poor quality. Now, these decks are not poor quality, but some examples of this would be like car mirror dice, plastic flamingos, a dashboard hula dancer, things that pop culture likes, and sometimes are considered tacky. So I had a few decks that I wanted to show you. I've kind of sorted them called kitsch style decks. The next two could be considered just theme decks, but they're a little kitschy. And then the last three are like holidays. So I know that we tend to get into kitsch in the holidays. So I pulled a couple, well, three of those, two for Samhain and one for Yule. So let's get started. The first one that I wanted to show you was the Housewives Tarot. Now this is definitely a kitsch deck. It opens, it's in a little like recipe box style. And the cards slide in here. Let me get them out real quick. And this is based on the 1950s style, like advertising and things. So I love this deck. Who is this by? This is by Paul Kepple and Jude Buffum. And it's a Housewives Tarot, a domestic divination kit with deck and instruction booklet. So I love this deck. I don't think I've used it very much, but I just love having it because it makes me happy. It's funny. I mean, look at that 9 of Pence. She is just so pleased to have a full dishwasher with clean dishes. I mean, it's awesome. So this is considered kitsch. Maybe tacky. I don't know. I love it. Definitely goes to pop culture. And even to make it better, they have color coded the edges. So the pence are the green, wands are a goldish yellow. The majors have the black, cups are blue, and swords are red. So there you are. And I forgot to show you the backs. These are the backs of it. And that is the Housewives Tarot, and it comes with the box. I showed you the box, but it's set up kind of like a recipe box with little dividers in here. And like, here's even a recipe, divinated eggs. Instead of deviled, it's divinated. Madame Marlena's mystical martini. And then they have dividers for in here also for, let's see, the Housewives Tarot, and then the major arcana. And then the book slides in here too. Here's the book. Cute little book. I love this deck. So that is probably the kitschiest of kitsch, definitely the kitschiest that I have. But that is just a fun deck. The other one is the Pulp Tarot, which is also based on 50s, like pulp fiction. It is by Todd Alcott. And here's the backs on these. So it's based on 1950s noir films and stories. She looks a little more 60s. Some pinups. They're done like movie posters or magazine covers. So I love this. This is also kitsch. The best kind, right? I love the 10 of pence there. That's definite movie style, perfect family, 10 of pence, huh? 4 of pence, he's going down in the quicksand, holding on to his money. So I love this. So this is the Pulp Tarot. Let me put it back. And then the box on this, I also love because it is made to look like a book. So you can put it on your shelf like a book, like Pulp Fiction, noir fiction. The next one I picked this one. Actually, I looked and it's not in print anymore. It's the Whimsical Tarot. It's created by Dorothy Morrison and illustrated by Mary Hanson Roberts. And I got this. I don't think I've ever used it. Here are the backs. Those are pretty backs. I like those. But it's because Santa is the emperor. That is the reason why I got this deck, and I don't think I've ever used it. I just needed a Santa as the emperor. There's Judgment with the little Jiminy Cricket. Pinocchio, the devil. So these are, I believe, based all on little stories. Does it say? It was done by US Games. A delightful tarot deck based on children's fairy tales, stories, fables, and myths. Colorful and charming, each card features a full pictorial scene and is suitable for both children and adults. So yeah, this is definitely kitsch, in a different style than my other 1950s based cards. They are color coded on the borders here, which I like. Makes it a little easier to read. And you can definitely go through with your kids or grandkids and find out, you know, what story it is. Like that's probably the Pokey Little Puppy. I love the Pokey Little Puppy. That was my favorite story. The Fool. There you are. So that was the Whimsical Tarot. And I do apologize. It is not in print anymore, but I wanted to show it because I thought it was fun and goes along the lines of this video. So the next two that I picked could be considered more of a theme based, but to me, that's also kitsch. So I have the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot, and I showed this in one other video, but there it is. It's by Rose Wright, illustrated by Eugene Smith. It's got a great box, the way it opens. Let's see here. It's a good chunky book. And in for each card in the book, sorry about the stutter in there, it has a picture of it, and then it talks about the story that the imagery comes from. So the 10 of Wands comes from the Telltale Heart. So it talks a little bit about the story and then how it goes into the picture. And then they'll have the Into the Maelstrom, and that's the meaning of the cards. And then it has upright and reversed meanings. Full color, which is always nice. And then, oh, I can get them out. So here are the backs. If you haven't seen it before, there's the Raven. And I use this deck for my shadow work just because I love Edgar Allan Poe. And he walked on the shadow side. So to me, it made sense. And again, each picture on the card relates back to one of his stories. And there's definitely the Telltale Heart for the Three of Swords. It's my all-time favorite one. The Lovers is Poe and, oh, I forgot her name. Darn it. Sorry about that. There you go, the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot. And then the next one goes along with themes, but also, I guess, with stories. I have the Sherlock Holmes Tarot. And I love mysteries. So I bought this deck. Oh, gosh. This, I bet, was one of the first ones I got. Not the first one, but right up in the top first three that I ever bought. It is by John Matthews and Will Kingan. It's Wisdom from the First Consulting Detective. Here's the book. It's a good book again. It talks about the card. It has what's called the game, which is, it talks more about how to kind of work with the card. The fog would be the darker side of the card, or the reverse if you want to put it that way. A little bit of Holmesian wisdom, like this is for death. Many a man has been wrongfully hanged. There you go. And then keys, which are like keywords to the cards. So each card has that. Now the suits are changed in this deck. And it's been a long time since I pulled this out, so I wouldn't be able to remember what those are, but there are the backs. There's lady, which would be queen. Inspector. I don't remember if inspector is king. There you go. Now I need to look up what they are. The prince consort. Let me see here. It has been a while since I've opened this up, so now I'm a little excited to see it again. So the Baker Street Irregular is a page. The Peeler is a knight. Lady is queen, and inspector is king. And they've changed the major or the minor arcana to observation is swords, and it would have an eye on it. Evidence is wands, it would have a shoe print. Analysis is cups, and that would have a magnifying glass. Pentacles is deduction, and that would have a question mark. So this one would be wands or evidence. You can see the shoe prints at the top. So there's the 4 of wands. And then they also changed the major arcana. So that makes it a little harder to read it. So Inspector Lestrade is the fool, because he was always kind of made to look like a fool. The gallows is the death card. There's the 8 of swords. Anyway, the blue carbuncle is the star. So I love this. I haven't used it in a long time. I think I'm going to pull it out and start using it again. The Queen Empress. I love that. Queen Victoria. All right. So that was the Sherlock Holmes Tarot, which I think is kitsch, but it could go under theme deck also. And those are kind of the only 2 theme decks I have in regards to stories, books, TV shows. I don't have any. So that's that. The third section, or the next 3 decks that I wanted to show, are holiday decks. So I debated whether to include these or not, but I'm going to include them because they are kitsch in their own way too. The first one I have is from Spirit Halloween, Deluxe Tarot Cards Prism Edition. And these are, I don't know how well it's going to show up on the screen. Here's the back. And then each one is a monster. So this is 7 of Pentacles, Gremlins. 9 of Cups is the Kraken. Let me flip them this way. Wheel of Fortune, Inquisitor. Sometimes the Wheel of Fortune feels like that too, doesn't it? The World is Ouroboros. The Tower, Gargoyle. So anyway, that's a Samhain or Halloween kitsch deck. I know there are so many for that Sabbath, but or season. This is one of them I have. The Hermit is a Yeti. That's awesome. I love that. The Hangman is an imp. Now I need to see. And the Fool is the Fool, which makes sense. So this was from Spirit Halloween 2023, and I did not make it to this year, 2024. So I don't know if they have a different one each year. The other Halloween one I have is the Jack-o'-lantern tarot. I don't know who this is by, Lo Scarabeo. Well, I don't know who made this deck, so I apologize. Here are the backs. Owls in a jack-o'-lantern and a bat. So this is definitely a Halloween kitsch. There are other Halloween decks that are more on the funny side, and this is a little more serious in its imagery. But it definitely leans towards pop culture and Halloween and older Halloween style too. Look at that Knight of Swords. I love that. Riding the owl. That's great. So I like that one too. The Page of Pentacles. Yep. So that is the Jack-o'-lantern tarot, Lo Scarabeo. I didn't see a creator on the box or the book, so I apologize to whoever did that. And then the last one I had was for Yule, and it is the Yuletide Tarot by Kristoffer Hughes, art by Erin O'Leary Brown. And it's got a big box, big book. Says, on the shortest day and the longest night, my gift to you is the warmth of light. And here's the book. Good book. Full color. It's got the keywords at the top and then talks about the card. So this one, I decided to put in this video because it does come into kind of a pop culture also. Here are the backs. It has Yule symbols and meanings in that time of year. I mean, the 10 of Canes, I love that. And yet it's so sad too. This is like they killed the snowman. The lightning tree for the tower. So maybe not as kitschy as the other ones before this, but I love it. 8 of Candles, Page of Canes, 5 of Good Cheer, which is the cups. Lots of drinking in the Good Cheer. Balance. And the Chariot. Love that. So I think it's a little, falls under the kitschy too. Father Christmas. Ace of Good Cheer. And the 4 of Good Cheer, even her coffee. She can't see the coffee mug behind her computer though, and she's stressing about it. This one, I think it's 5 of Candles, and I think it relates to just the little bit of the arguing that happens around the holidays for a lot of people. Anyway, so that was the Yuletide Tarot, the Magic of Midwinter. And that is all I have. Oh no, I have one more thing. I was going to show you, I had one tarot book that definitely falls under kitsch. And it is Tarot and Tequila by David A. Ross. And I love this book. It's good size, it's hardcover. And each card is full color card. And then it has the basic definition and basic reverse definition, and then the tequila definition and reverse tequila definition. So like for strength, the tequila definition is, have you ever been on a bar crawl? Have you learned the trick to survival? You can't start off too strong, right? It's a marathon and not a sprint, as they say. You need to conserve your strength. Utilize your self-discipline and endurance so you can continue on long after your friends. You'll still be going strong while they'll be on the floor due to not paying attention to their own tolerance or lack of. So the tequila definitions, oh yeah, and I forgot they also have mystical pairings. So each major arcana card has a mixed drink. Am I getting too close? There's the Justice cocktail with pineapple infused tequila, Aperol, yellow chartreuse, orange bitters, grapefruit bitters, one dash Scrappy's firewater, habanero tincture bitters, and one grapefruit wedge for garnish. They all have a drink that goes with it. The author calls it a mystical pairing. So I think that is only for the major arcana. And then the minor and the court cards just have the definitions. I do not have the deck that is displayed on here. I think you can get it. I do not have it. It didn't vibe with me like the book did. So that is my Kitsch tarot book, Tarot and Tequila and Other Spirits, a tarot guide with cocktails by David A. Ross. So that is the end of the video. That's what I wanted to show you under Kitsch, just something that is in pop culture, possibly tacky, in the past considered lowbrow, but no. We have highbrow kitschy tarot here. We're not doing lowbrow. So anyway, thanks for joining me again. I hope you come back. Don't forget to like it and subscribe, and we will see you later. Bye.